Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with another palette review for you. So this one I'm really excited about because this is actually from an indie brand that I had never heard of before until I ran into them on Instagram. And this is by a brand called Kaleidos, I think is how you say their name, Kaleidos. And like I said, I saw a post on Instagram about this makeup company, and I don't know if it was a post from them or if it was a post from somebody that I follow that had posted about these, but they came out with a trio of new palettes, and they're called the Futurism palettes. So I did only purchase one. I purchased the one that is called Sci-Fi Green, and I'm going to show that to you in just a second. There were two other palettes in the kind of trio, and I can't remember the name of the other two, but the one that I purchased because I thought it would be a good alternative to the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette, which is very expensive. It's always out of stock. I don't even think you can get it anymore. I'm pretty sure you can't. I think they maybe restocked it, but even if they did, it was like $68, which I just felt was really pricey for the number of shades that you were getting in there. And I saw this and I thought that this would be a really good alternative. So anyways, without further ado, let me just go ahead and show this palette to you. So it came in this really huge box, which is super extra when it comes to the packaging, but I think that this was meant for it to be like a universal thing. Okay, sorry, little one needs to tell me something.
There's gonna be some music on Roblox and it's gonna be pretty loud.
Okay, so we're gonna try to keep it down until I get done with this, okay?
No.
Oh, come on, little one.
No.
Okay. Okay, so back to the palette. So I think that this packaging was designed for so that no matter how many palettes you ordered in this collection, they could ship it in this box regardless. So it does open like this. So this is the front of it. It has like a little magnetic flap, and then you just open it. Okay, sweetheart. And it came with this little card. This is just really beautiful packaging. It came with this really pretty card, and the card is on really beautiful cardstock. I don't know if my camera's gonna pick it up at all, but it's this really beautiful iridescent cardstock, which I just thought was so beautiful. So it says a message from the future, because this is called the Futurism collection again. And the little card says, "Thank you so much for your purchase. This package has traveled a great distance through time and space to reach you. Now the future is in your hands. The rest is up to you. Welcome to a new age of makeup. With people like you, the future of makeup is bright. The Kaleidos team." So I just thought that was a cute little touch. So it came with a big piece of foam on top. And then this is what the inside of the box looks like. So it came in a piece of foam like that. And like I was saying, these are two foam inserts in here. So I think that had you purchased like any of the other palettes, they would have just slid them in these foam spots. But since I just got the one, they just packed it right in the middle there. So you unpack this. Now this package, I will tell you that this brand, I'm not totally sure where they are based out of, like where the actual brand itself is based out of, but I know that the product ships out of China. So whether this is a Chinese company or not, I am not sure. I will tell you it is the PRC, so this is the People's Republic of China, not mainland China. And it took me about 2 weeks to receive this, or it took about 2 weeks for me to receive this palette. So again, shipping out of China, not sure if it's a China-based company. The palette, they do claim that the palette is cruelty-free, and I think that that is probably accurate since it is the PRC rather than mainland China. And I know that mainland China has some odd animal testing laws, like you have to test on animals there or something. I'm not super knowledgeable about that, but I have heard that quite a few times. But again, this does say cruelty free on it, so fingers crossed that it actually is. And this is what the packaging of this looks like. It's really beautiful. So much thought and detail went into the packaging of this palette. I just think it is so beautiful. So Half of the wording on the back is in English, and then the other half is in Chinese or Mandarin, I'm guessing. And this is actually referred to as a pressed pigment palette. So it does have the ingredients for everything. Yeah, it does say, it says distributed.
Guys, I hope you like the Old Town Road music in the background.
It does say distributed by a company in Shanghai, PRC, made in PRC, and it does say, again, cruelty-free product. So, yeah, so let me get into this so you can actually see what this palette looks like. I'm sorry, I should have done this first. So you open it up, and this is a really beautiful, kind of that velvety touch, like that rubbery feeling cardboard. It's just really beautiful. And again, with the magnetic, closure. And then you open it up, and here is the palette. And it's gorgeous. And like I say, it reminds me, it reminds me so much of the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette. And this is just beautiful. So I want to say that this palette, and I'm so sorry that I am not remembering exactly how much it is, but it was somewhere between $26 and $29. I want to say, or maybe it was $21. And I think it was $21. And I think you could get the bundle of all three for $49, which I'm kicking myself for not having done now, since I have been playing with this for the last couple of days, and I've been able to use every shade in this palette. And now I am kicking myself for not having picked up the other two palettes. But the other two seemed like there were a bunch of shades in there that I already had in my collection, and this is the one that really just spoke to me. So you have got 4 matte shades in this palette. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then these are your 2, and I'm going to straight up call these foils, because these are 2 foiled shades. You've got a really beautiful kind of a lime green gold, and then a really beautiful, I don't even know what color green you would call that, like an acid green, just really beautiful, like a chartreuse almost. And then you've got these 2 really beautiful green mattes, a really nice matte black, and a really beautiful mustard. So this is just a beautiful palette.
That was my favorite game.
It does come with this little plastic insert with the shade names on them. So let me see if I can hold it up with that. So the mustard color is called Radioactive. The kind of gold shimmer is Nuclear. The green foil is Glamora. The this one here is called Smog, ET, and Dark Side. So those are the names of the shades. And let's go ahead and swatch these. This is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I also wore this yesterday, so I have had the chance to test it with a couple different types of primers, as well as layering up the mattes, and I've used every shade in this palette except for the black. So anyways, let's go ahead and swatch this for you. These are really beautiful. The mattes, this eyeshadow formula is gorgeous. The mattes blend out really, really beautifully. And the foils are a very light and thin formula. They're not thick. They're nothing like the Makeup Revolution palette that I just reviewed a few days ago. The foiled shades in here are nothing like those. The formula on that palette, excuse me, is a very thick silicone-y formula, whereas these foiled shades are very light, very airy, very, very pigmented. There's not a ton of fallout. I didn't get any fallout with these, and they're just really beautiful. The mattes are very, very buttery and soft. They blend out really, really well. They're just really beautiful. Okay, and then the last two shades. So let me get a little bit more of that green. And the two matte green shades, when I first opened the palette, I thought, oh gosh, those look very, very similar. Once you get them on the eyes, they're probably going to look exactly alike, but as you can see when you swatch them, they look absolutely nothing alike. This is a very beautiful pigmented black. So that is the Kaleidos Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green palette. Really, really beautiful. Okay, so now that I have talked about the formula, let's talk about how this wears. I did use this, and I'm going to get real close, and don't mind my hair. It's really hot here today, so my hair tends to curl up. Okay, I'm going to get real close here so you can see. This is what these shadows look like. So I just went in with the lighter green matte and kind of buffed that out, and then, sorry, I had to touch it up a little bit when I got home and I didn't do a great job. And then I went in with the darker green right into the crease, and then I did the same on my lower lash line, and then I just went in with the green kind of chartreuse foiled shade all over the lid as well as in the inner corner. So I did use that in two places. I think that the look turned out really simple and beautiful, and I just absolutely love this palette. And like I say, I'm kicking myself now for not having picked up the other two in this collection. So I did wear this palette both yesterday and today. I used more of a kind of, I don't want to say a dry primer because I don't use really drying primers on my eyelids since I do tend to have dry eyelids, but I used a more, a not super emollient primer yesterday, and I will tell you that the shadows were much, much better with the primer that was less emollient. I did go in with my favorite Tarte Shape Tape primer today, which is a very emollient formula, and when I got home, the mattes had kind of bunched up in the crease, and the foil shade was a little bit worn off just right under the crease area. So because I had worn this palette the previous day with no problems with any kind of creasing, the mattes didn't bunch up in any kind of a weird way. I would say that it's just the primer that I chose to use on my eyelids today before putting this palette on. So I don't think it's the palette's fault at all. It's definitely not the shadows. It was just that primer doesn't work with all shadows, and I do know that. So I did just want to test that today. So anyways, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to tell you about this. This is a beautiful collection. The other two palettes, one is more of like a neutralish, if I remember, and then one is really beautiful with like a bright kind of magenta pink, and then I think there's a really beautiful blue foil in the other one. But yeah, this is their website, and how you can order these if you're interested is kaleidosmakeup.com. So I will go ahead and link that down below if you're interested at all. Anyways, that's it for this palette review. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.